you know what's coming next year.
Yeah.
We're ramping up for that shit show.
That's right. All right, and we're live. So we'll say,
it with me cussing. Yay.
that's right. Yay! We went live with Caro announcing that the shit show is coming, and it is.
It's on its way, baby.
That's right. Oh my God, Sarah, please don't report me to the YouTube police. I don't need any more cardiac problems today.
They apparently don't need any proof to report you for anything now, so whatever.
I know. They're going to report me for wearing a pink shirt. However, I'll go to jail for that one. I'll go to YouTube jail for that one because I finally got my AuthorTube shirt. Don't you love that?
I love
so cute. I love this color. I'm going to have to name this like boobs and pencils, but can you see that pencil? I love that it's gray. And you can actually, I think that it's gray. It's really nice on this color. So I want to get two more. And you guys can get your t-shirts officially at the link in the description below, because Sarah and her husband really worked hard on these designs.
I love that plug. Wait, is there a link in your description for that at all?
Yeah, there should be. I will check to make sure that it is there. And you can also get yourself a nice mug as well.
That's what I need to do. Right after we're done with the stream, I'm going to go buy something.
So let me tell you, all weekend, I have been drinking out of this, practicing drinking with my right hand because I'm left-handed. Mm-hmm. Because if you drink with it out of my left hand, you can't see this really awesome AuthorTube thing, logo. And I'm like, well, what's the point of having it on air if I'm showing you a white blank mug? So my solution to this problem is I'm going to get one of the stickers that they have available, and I'm going to put it on the other side, and then that way I can drink with my left hand.
That's just super smart of you.
Look at you getting inventive.
I know. I'm always trying to figure out some good stuff. So
I guess when I drink my coffee, I'm always like holding it like it's like my precious baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And today's soda, but I was
I know.
Coffee.
I woke up this morning. I don't know how it is where you are at, but it is humid here today, which is really.
I woke up sweating. We're in Arizona. Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, I woke up sweating, and like we had the AC on and everything, and my husband and I were just like, I think we're gonna die.
Yeah. And like, so last night I washed my hair and I dried it before I went to bed. I woke up and it was damp, and I was just like, fucking summer.
My hair is right now. I have the other problem. It's all frizzy and shit.
Yeah.
Like, looks good though.
Thanks.
It's got that like tasseled thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what everyone wants to do.
I was going to say, at least you have something. My hair is straight. And like, if I try curling it, I've had people tell me how wonderful my hair is because it's straight and this, that, and the other thing. My hair is so straight that anytime I have tried to curl it, it gets like a half curl, and then just before I'm done with the other side of my head, this side is now flat. It's miserable. I hate it.
I have really thick hair. Like, I know some of you guys are looking at my hair and you're kind of like, oh man, look at that full hair. Look, half of my hair is actually cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the summer out here, when the heat comes, I overheat really easily, and obviously like a lot of, so I usually cut it like in the winter and then let it grow back over the summer, so that way when the next winter comes, like I can like look a little more stylish. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that. I almost just shaved off all my hair last weekend.
Yeah.
Because when I went to do my walk that I shouldn't have done, like at one point, like by the time I got home, like just my whole head was just damp, and I was just,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how Mini Monster, she's like, please. So she has a ton of hair, but each strand is very thin. And she loves her hair, but it gets so hot that she's like, Mom, I just want to shave. She's like, just let me shave like half of it, kind of like what you did.
Yeah.
She's like, just let me shave half of it, and then the rest of it will cover it up and nobody will even notice. And I'm like, well, I don't know. And then she's like, let's both shave our heads and we can just wear wigs. And then every day of the week, we can have a new style, a new color, a new whatever. And I was like, you know how much a wig costs?
They're expensive.
I know. I'm like, we're not getting these. There's no way. Hey, what are you doing? Do you see this?
No,
I see this.
I see darkness. Yeah. Oh,
She's trying to take down the picture.
Yeah. She's like, I'm just going to go over here and do whatever I feel like doing. She knocked over a bunch of stuff over the weekend. I thought I was going to have to strangle her because I thought she broke some of my, like just right now, she knocked down the book.
this is what happens when you have cats. Like,
This isn't my cat. This isn't my cat. But her owner is out of town, so she has no choice but to hang out with me. Plus, she's really cute.
hi,
I
Derek.
like her.
We haven't even introduced ourselves yet. We just
I know. I was going to say, let's go ahead and do that. Well, now that Derek has graced us with his presence.
That's what I'm here for.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead. We'll start with Amy, and we'll go down the line. I'm going to turn this light back off because all lights and anything unessential needs to go off because it's too damn hot. It's 9:15, and I am sweating, and that is not natural.
That's me going first, I guess. Hi, I'm Amy Nobody. I'm a certified SEO consultant, but I don't have a website or any social media. Cue the tear. I am working on my second rough draft of my first fiction book. It's going to be a fantasy book. And thank you for hosting these because once again, I did not work on them at any time that we were not streaming. So I got to get my act together. That way I can hopefully finish this for Camp NaNoWriMo July 2019.
Right on.
We shall see.
Yeah. All right, Carol. I know the cat's snuggling with me. She's like, it's hot, but I'm going to press my body against yours.
You will be affection, human.
Yeah. All right, Carol, it's your turn.
My name is Kara Brown. I'm a urban fantasy author and a writer for Other World Inc. I have plenty of social media, unlike some people.
Cough.
I hear my link is down below somewhere, so you can click on that. Usually on YouTube, I talk about writerly things. I have a book coming out in August.
On your birthday?
On my birthday, yeah. I did. Sorry. Anyway, not to harp too much about me, but I'm here today to work on a secret project that Otherworld just gave me. I don't know what's going on. That gave me, and I have to figure out how to do it because it's not something that I'm very good at doing. So like, today will be me like trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna mute myself while I'm repeatedly cussing during our writing sprint. So.
Cool. You know, I believe that the cussing videos actually get good views, so maybe you shouldn't mute it.
No, whip out your thesaurus.
You guys can hear my second language of Cussanese.
That's
I know, right? I know how to cuss in 4 languages. 5 if you include sign language.
I only know one cuss word in sign language, so.
I'm not gonna lie. 2 of those languages, I speak nothing but the cuss word. I'm not like polyglot or anything like that. I just thought it was funny to have a nice round number, so I learned 2 more sets of cuss words.
Oh yeah.
You say that. It's funny because in my author bio, I said when I lived over in other countries, the first thing I did was learn all the bad words.
Yeah.
That's what, when Mini Monster, the first time she slipped out a bad word, I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, well, you let the boys do it. I'm like, if the boys are older and they're boys, that makes you sound trashy. I'm like, don't use that language. It makes you sound trashy. And she's like, well, you use it all the time. I'm all, I'm like, and now you're a smart ass. Thanks a lot. Her solution to my not wanting her to cuss, she learned how to cuss in different languages. So now she can cuss in Spanish, Korean. I know there's another one. I can't remember what it is.
French is a fun one to cuss in. I like French cuss words.
Ken and Taylor did this thing where, and then I'll let Derek talk. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. They did a special where they talked about cussing and how it was hypocritical for like this woman who, instead of saying like, son of a bee, she'd be like, son of Buddha. It's like, you're still you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Well, and then it gets a little bit more offensive because instead of saying bitch, she is replacing that negative word with somebody's deity, and it's just not cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Respect the
You're
deity.
still doing it. Own it.
Yeah. It's like, gosh, just be nice. Yeah.
I think that's your cue, Derek.
Quick, Derek, go.
He's so nice. It's your turn.
Right.
Sorry. YouTube's being a pain in the butt right now.
Uh-oh.
Tell me about it.
It like keeps signing me out and not won't even let me sign in. I'm like, what the hell?
You missed my 10-minute rant before we went live about YouTube.
And I know some people have been, I know the whole ordeal with Kristen Martin deleting comments. I've been having people comment on mine, and I'll get the notification, and then whenever I go to view it, it says it's not even there.
Yeah,
It's just like one person, and like everybody else is still there. I'm like, I'm not deleting y'all stuff. I can see it in my notifications.
There's
it's not even letting me see it.
I know what you're talking about because like I got a notice saying I had 32 spam messages in YouTube that needed review, but when I went to go look at it, YouTube was like, "Oh yeah, you have 32, but we're not going to show them to you." Every day I send a ticket saying, "You say I have these and I don't see it, so make up your damn mind."
Yeah.
Because I know Aphrodite commented on one of my videos a while back, and when I clicked on the comment, it was gone. I go back to my notification, it says she commented on it. Click it, still not there. And the same thing with my 10K writing challenge one. She commented on it, and I'm like, it's showing me that you commented, but it's not letting me see it. So I don't know.
Listen here, YouTube. We know what you're doing. Stop doing it.
But now it's not even letting me sign in. It keeps telling me I need to sign in, and there's a oops, there's a problem. It's like, what the hell? I never sign out. Why am I not signed in?
That same thing happened to me, I want to say last year. I had a comment and I couldn't see it at first, but then after about 2 weeks I could see the comment, but I couldn't reply to the comment. So I just went straight to the other person's channel and left them a message being like, hey, I don't know what's going on. But I thought it was just me. I thought maybe I didn't know how to use the YouTube yet.
So me doing the
I can see part of the comments, like you got a notification, so-and-so commented and it kind of starts it. And I can see that, but I click on it and it just says comments for this video and then it's not there. It's like, what the hell? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
It's not even letting me sign in, so I can't even type in the chat or anything.
No, this has been going on for a while because they were screwing with their algorithm last winter. And then you could really see it earlier this spring when you're looking at all the commentaries for some of the movies that were coming out. Because one of the things I pointed out last week is that they are, like, we've always known that they've been screwing with the notifications, right? Like, we would go live and we wouldn't know each other were going live and so on and so forth. And, like, one of the things that they're doing is they're basically trying to get less notice for certain people. So one guy that I follow, he has like over 100,000 followers, right? And he did a live stream and only 36 people showed up because nobody else got notification. So you're telling me 36 out of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing something, and they need this. We're seeing this. We see what you're doing.
You think we're small and we won't know, but we know, okay?
Well, because we noticed it first. Like we always notice it. Like yeah. We had it back in January. We were like, I never get notifications on so and so, and somebody was like, well, I get notifications all the time. We had like a 30-minute talk about this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Derek, it's your turn. Go.
Oh yeah. I'm D.L. Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. My debut novel came out last month. It's available on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books Depository, IndieBound, Indigo, a bunch of other stuff. You can go check it out. It's also on my website, and all the buy links are there, dlstewartauthor.com. And I think today I am going to actually be proofreading a case that I have to send in to my boss soon. I planned on doing that Saturday and didn't do it. Then I said I was going to do it yesterday and didn't do it. So
that sounds suspiciously like work.
I know. I know. You know what? There have been a few times that I've been wanting to ask you how you got into the line of work you do. But I figured it might be one of those things we got to do off of the stream. It's completely up to you. But I think it's very interesting what you do.
Actually, I worked at a factory for the longest time up until right before I started doing these live streams with y'all. I worked nights there. I worked from 4 in the afternoon to about 2:30 in the morning. And I was asleep during the day most of the time. But my kids, I got one in school and the other one started school in August. And then my other one still got a couple years. And me and my wife had talked about me switching to day shift. So I'd be home more with her because she works days and I was working nights. And we had talked about that, but I've had a heat stroke before. I've had multiple times that I've almost had a heat stroke at work. So I really didn't want to go from nighttime where it's cooler to daytime where it's even warmer. So I started looking for some other jobs, but I was making like 20, almost 21 an hour there. So I didn't really want a big pay cut, I guess.
Right.
So I kind of started asking people, you know, if they knew any places that I could make at least 15 an hour, if not more, locally working days. I even started looking at some working home things. And then there's a writing group, just a town over from here, about 20-minute drive, that I go to every month. And there's a lady that goes to there who hasn't really written that much, but she does legal transcribing. She's actually registered and all that. And then she's like, you know, I've been taking on other people to help me do it. So everything's still under her name. So she has to go back over after we send it to her. But if we are doing it to the point where she doesn't really have to, if we're doing it good enough, then she'll up our pay. But she pays us for each page, which I think is how she gets paid or whatever. So she basically sends it to them, they pay her, and then she pays us for it and stuff like that.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, yeah. So she mentioned that to me. She's like, if you want to try that. I was like, yeah, that'd be something I can do whenever. Most cases you have like a month to do, so it's no rush. She says she does get some cases that you have a week to do, and at times she has some that has to be done that day. But for those, you get paid more. I think the week ones, you get paid like 50 cents more a page. And then the day ones, you get an extra $1 a page, which they're usually, the ones I've been sending her are like 80 pages each. So it's extra $80 or so.
Yeah. Hey, everything counts. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. But she's like, yeah, you can do that. It's, you know, kind of work at your own pace, own hours, whatever. You don't have to do it that much if you don't want to or whatever. I'm like, yeah, sure. I kind of work around my schedule. My kids were playing softball and stuff. So just whenever I got around to it, which is, I started spending most of the time I was writing as my actual job. And then I've just kind of eliminated writing altogether except for these live streams. And that's about the only time I actually work on my book for the most part.
Yeah.
So I can kind of keep those separate and time managed.
I know. That's what I struggle with, time management. And Sarah is looking for someone to replace her as a legal assistant so she can fuck around at home. All serious inquiries, see Sarah. So,
I'm happy with the job so far.
Yeah. That's what I have considered doing, like transcribing or something. But here's my problem. If I have to work at someone else's schedule, I get really anxious and then I'm like, oh, I can't do it. But if I can work at my own schedule, I'm like, yeah, let's get this done.
And my boss, she's originally from New Jersey. So a lot of her cases were from New Jersey. Now she lives in Arkansas. And she's did the test or whatever so she can get Arkansas cases, which is what she's been sending me.
Right.
Because of the accent and dialect or whatever is different. I have done a New Jersey one before, and I think it's actually easier to understand than Arkansas because it's all slurred, and a lot of them talk really fast. There's this one lawyer on the case that I'm got to proofread today. She talks 90-0, just constantly, just da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, and I have to slow it down. There's an option on the audio player that you have to use to slow it down to like a quarter of speed at times, and I have to do it like that, and she sounds normal almost. And then somebody else will start talking. They have to go and speed it back up. It's crazy.
Like, take a breath. Just take a breath, lady. Oh, yeah.
At first, when I started listening to her, I thought she was like new or something because she kind of kept kind of like stuttering and seeming hesitant or whatever, and then talking really fast, which I know some people, when they get nervous, they talk really fast. So not that. And then I was talking to my boss. He's like, no, we get those, some from her, and she's always like that. Like,
oh, yeah. Yep. It is. Anytime I go back east to visit my family, their accent isn't like unintelligible. You can still understand what they're saying, but for like the first couple of days, I have to sit there and I will look at their mouths as if I'm trying to actually envision the words that are coming out, because it's like their tongue turns differently when they're pronouncing things. For example, the word hold has an L in it, but they pronounce it hold. So yeah. So
like I'm hard of hearing. I know exactly what you're talking about, because sometimes like if you ever sit with me in person, I've told this unsettles people, but like I really focus on their face because I'm trying to pay attention to what they're saying, because I can't always hear. So I'm watching the mouth and the face and all that. And I know exactly what you're talking about, because just the smallest change in pronunciation like can change like the whole word. So
oh yeah. And so it's pretty funny. I mean, I love it and I miss it when I haven't been able to go home for a year, almost 2 years now. And so I miss it. So every now and again, I'll get like little video clips that I've made while I was back there, and I'll just listen, not because I want to relive what was happening. I just want to hear how they speak. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, I don't know. It's very comforting when you hoed the mayo.
Yeah. So. I know the biggest problem I have with train driving is actually learning all the legal terms, because they'll say it. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that, and then it's kind of hard at times.
Oh yeah.
You get used to it.
Yeah, I imagine you do.
We have a person in the chat. It was asking about what our thoughts on creative, or what our thoughts on pen names were. So I don't know if we.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'm here for you. I pay attention to everything.
Okay, I really appreciate it, because I'm a squirrel. Are they still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still chatting.
Created copy.
Oh, okay, cool. So, well, okay, here's how I feel about pen names. If you can swing it, that's great. I started writing under a pen name. It was very difficult for me because I would get phone calls and they would ask for me by my pen name, and it was unsettling, I guess. And then I started thinking to myself, why am I hiding who I am? Oh, you're fine. And so I finally just gave up on it. But I know there are lots of people who actually prefer to go by their pen name versus their real name. I don't have, I don't know if I just don't have the ability to pretend to not be me. Because it's hard enough being me. I can't be other people too. No.
I write under a pen name because originally when I started writing and I was making my author brand, I was a teacher. And teachers aren't allowed to write under their actual name, so I created a pen name. And at this point, like, it's going to be too confusing to actually go by my real name. And not to mention, I've never told you guys this story. I'll be really quick. So, the long and short of it is that when I was born, my parents had a standing agreement about what they were going to call me. If I was a boy, my father was going to name me, and if I was a girl, my mother was going to name me. Right? Mm-hmm. So I was born, as you see. And so my mother basically said, okay, well, I'm going to name her after the dog. So my first name was from the dog. And my middle name is actually from an aunt who was really well known for making, like, dinner biscuits. So my name, roughly translated, means dog biscuit.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Oh, my God, your mother name.
Yeah, so in my daily correspondence, I don't go by my actual first name. I go by my middle name. But yeah, so. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's a great talking point.
I thought my name was bad. I was named after a 4-wheel drive part. Oh, man.
I plan on maybe using a pen name for non-fantasy work whenever I get around to writing that stuff.
Yeah, one of the things that they actually don't talk about in the industry, because obviously I have like too many projects that are going on right now. But when you actually write in a very like different genre, they ask you to change the name. So, for example, if you usually write an urban fantasy and then you do like a romance, it can be like confusing to your fans. So they ask that you use a different name.
Because if they know you for one, like I write fantasy, so D.L. Stewart will be for that. And so if I write something that's not fantasy or whatever, and they just see my name on, they would automatically assume that it was fantasy.
Yeah.
And then they pick it up and be disappointed or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that happened to Robert E. Howard, because he was always writing the Conan stories, and then he wrote a non-Conan story. They still put Conan art on the cover of the book. They didn't even check.
Yeah, it's like Stephen King or whatever wrote a couple children's books at one point or whatever. He went by a different name because nobody's going to buy their kid a book by Stephen King.
Stephen King writes children's books.
I don't know. My sister's kid loves scary stuff. She probably would have bought all of his children's books, even if they were written like, it. Oh, that's what they should do. They should convert it into like a picture book for children.
Oh God, no. Have you read that book?
Yes, I have read it, and so I got to a specific part and I had to like close it and set it down. And I'll do that every now and again. I'll be like, okay, this is getting a little bit too intense. I'm going to set it down and then I'll come back to it. But it's a heavy book.
Every time I hear they're going to make a movie for it, my thought is like, how are they going to do that one scene? And they always never do it.
Yeah.
My wife is mad about that. She's like, they got to put it in there.
Oh, God. Yeah. And then, can you just imagine?
I think that one scene violates some laws.
A lot of laws, yeah. I'm surprised you even put it in the book.
And I think, you can get away with writing things. You can get away with writing a lot more than you can with visual art.
Yeah.
And I think that if the writers of that movie had decided to put that one part in it, the movie probably would have been boycotted globally. Well, maybe not in like Yemen, but globally.
It's like the movie Interview with Seth Rogen and stuff. A lot of stuff came up with that, and then movie theaters wouldn't accept it or whatever in theaters, so it had to go straight to DVD or online pirating and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun topic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I've struggled, my romance series isn't technically considered erotica because less than 10% of the book has graphic adult content in it. Mm-hmm. Some of my other stories, however, have less than 10% storytelling in it. And that's where I kind of argued, like, well, should I use a pen name? Should I not use a pen name? And I guess I haven't published it yet, so I guess I'm still on the fence about it. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really care. I mean, if you pick up one of my books, you're guaranteed to have some graphic adult content in it.
Yeah, I think as long as it's kind of close to the same or whatever, because I've thought about maybe writing a young adult fantasy or whatever, not as graphic violence and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll probably still put it as the old Stewart, but anything that's not fantasy or whatever, I'll use a different name.
Yeah.
Well, I'll become Alina and just write multiple genres just because we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, the pen name, my husband helped me pick out my pen name, and it was appropriate for, it's very appropriate for like my erotica books because it sounds like a stripper name, which is totally cool. However, when somebody actually says it to your face while you're trying to talk business, you're just like,
I can't take you seriously.
I know. I'm like, okay, my name's Dana. Just call me Dana, okay? We're talking business. Let's not. Okay. But anyway.
The pen name I'm going to use for my non-fantasy is going to be Peter Gracie, which is a name I used when I was younger. I used to sell drugs, and that was my cover-up name, so nobody knew who I was. I remember one day.
Oh my God.
I know one day I met a dude or whatever that I was selling to, and he was like, "You're Peter Gracie?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I thought you was gonna be like Hispanic. Isn't Gracie Hispanic?" I was like, "It's Italian." He's like, oh, okay.
Hey man, you could pass as Italian. Why not?
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know. Gracie might be Spanish, but whatever.
You know,
He didn't know.
I never.
Everybody wants to know your pen name.
Oh, my pen name was / is. It's Summer Meadow.
That's such a stripper name.
It does. It sounds like either a vaginal cleanser or a stripper name. I mean, come on.
Have you ever seen the movie We're the Millers?
I think maybe bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember it.
There's a stripper whose stage name is Boner Garage. Yeah.
If we weren't monetized, we'd definitely demonetize now.
Ooh, Sarah's gonna be Eloise Morningstar. See, I like that though.
Morningstar Sarah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it roughly translates into, but I never in a million years thought that drug dealers would have pen names, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I had a separate phone and everything. I wasn't going to be traced.
Yeah. See, you were an intelligent criminal, unlike that dumb piece of shit that broke into my Jeep. God. I can hang with intelligent criminals, okay? I can totally do that.
Yeah. My wife didn't even know I used to sell until after we got married. We was watching some movie, and the dude was going through like some crate of coffee grounds looking for drugs, and then he just kind of walked off. I was like, there's drugs in there. I was like, how you know? That's how I used to smoke them on all the time, stick it in coffee.
Oh my
God. All mine. I was like, because drug dogs can't smell that. All they smell is the scent of the coffee grounds.
This is a very interesting time for me to put my headphones back in. I feel like I missed something.
I'm writing that down.
Something large.
That's information. I need to write that down.
Oh, I know. If somebody in one of my books needs to smuggle something, they're going to put it in their Folgers.
Yeah, I used to keep a sack in the back of my Mountaineer that I had of just like random grocery items. I always had one of those big jars of Folgers or Master Chef or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I just had one thing of coffee in my car.
Man.
It looked like I just went to the store or something.
It looks like you cleaned out a coffee shop.
Yep.
Oh man, Derek, you get more and more interesting the longer you hang out with us.
Just keep
You
learning.
don't even know the half of it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, exciting. Do we want to write now?
Yes, we should get to writing. We have surpassed my normal chatting time, and we should definitely get to writing. But we'll come back to chatting as soon as we are done with our first writing sprint. Oh, it is. You're absolutely right, Grape Fry. It's always the quiet one.
There's a reason why we're quiet. I know one of my friends found out about it afterwards. He's like, you don't look like that cop. I was like, that's why I got by with it.
Yeah, right. You're like, you when you're in this line, when you're in this industry, you want to really kind of go unnoticed, you know.
Yeah.
Now you're like, look at me. Back then you were like, I'm just a regular Joe drinking 5 different flavors of coffee.
No, I didn't keep that much coffee in there. I just had one thing of coffee, and then I'd have some Little Debbies and some sodas.
Right.
Like that. So I didn't look too suspicious. They was like, what are you doing? I went to the store to get some groceries.
Oh, funny. All right. Is everybody ready to get some stuff done today?
Yeah.
Ready.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. That is time. Now it's time to do some mathing.
I totally forgot to write down what my original word count was, so I have no idea how much I did, but I did about 5 inches of text on the screen. So
Right on.
that counts as.
Amy did 5 inches, and that's awesome.
Woo!
That's right. Not everyone can complete 5 inches. Oh man. Sorry guys. Oh, so over the weekend. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll be right back, guys. Love ya. Oh, have fun.
I guess they're going through their.
I'm doing an adaptation, so I'm not really writing anything. So.
How are you measuring your progress then? Just plugging along until you're done?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to open up Scrivener for this because Scrivener is really good with formatting this, but one of the things that Scrivener does is it just inserts a code instead of putting a number in. So I guess I could count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 13 pages set up so far.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. So Persephone got 320 words. That's really awesome. Wendy got 213 words. That's also equally awesome.
Woo!
I got about 10 pages proofread. Or I'm starting on page 10, so I got 9 proofread.
That's awesome. What happens when the host is gone? What do we do with ourselves?
The mice will play.
I don't know what we're going to play with, though. That awkward silence.
Sorry, I've got people sending me messages in the other windows.
Nah, I get you. Ignore that,
Oh, sorry.
Okay. That was
Sorry.
weird.
Oh, sorry. I got 333.
Yay!
Woo!
Yeah, I don't know why I had to get up and talk to. Oh, my husband's leaving. I was like, what the hell did I just do? He's leaving, and he needed to tell me we're dealing with some estate horse shit. Let me tell you guys, this is my word of advice. If you own property of any sort and you think you're going to die, because we all are going to get there eventually, make sure you have your shit in order, okay? Like every T, every I, make sure it's all there, because as lovely as the idea of willing your belongings to someone else, the law is bullshit, okay? You die and what you wanted to happen 90% of the time does not happen, because people are assholes and the law has to get their fingers involved in everything. So
Nah.
no, Wendy, I'm not old. Are you kidding me? I'm only 20. No. No, but after my my husband's grandparents died, and we were made his legal representative, and then the paperwork wasn't filed correctly, and so now we have to get lawyers involved and courts and all this other craziness involved, and it's just stupid. Just here's my advice: if you have stuff, sell it all, divide it evenly between your kids, let them buy their own shit, okay? Because they're not going to want your stuff anyway. At least that's my experience. That is my experience with this debacle. So yeah.
Well, I hope the rest of it goes smoothly.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will, because the ones that are having issues, they're starting to see that if they just do it. So we already have a contract on the house, and they're starting to see that if they just stick with the contract, sell it to the person who wants to purchase it, it's going to be so much smoothly than if you back out of this contract and then try to sell it to someone else, because this guy's willing to purchase it as is. And it's like a 60-year-old house that hasn't been updated for 60 years.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and he's
anything other than as is going to get real complicated real quick.
Yeah, and he's willing to pay fair market value for a home that's probably going to need $20,000 to $30,000 worth of upgrades. So it's like, just don't. I'm the kind of person where it's like, don't rock the boat. If it's going smoothly and you're going to get a fair deal out of it, don't rock the boat. Don't go around fucking everybody's day up. But this
This beep wants to beep.
Yeah. I'm really trying. I'm really trying to be nice because it is my husband's family. But the stress that I have been put through because of their decisions has really taken a toll on not just on my body, but on my family and mental well-being. And so when this is all said and done, I think I'm going to go on a lifelong vacation. I'm going to go on a fast, a husband family fast for the rest of my life. No. No. I know. I love like 99% of his family. There's just there's 3 individuals that I am like, there's 4 individuals that the list is going to get bigger if we don't start writing. So, yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead. Oh, mine already started. What the heck? It automatically started a thing for me.
It's a demon app, isn't it?
It automatically.
You gotta be careful. The more you worship that thing, it's going to become sentient, and then it's going to get a mind of its own.
Okay,
and we're all going to be in trouble.
But Amy, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm honest with everybody.
Uh-oh.
I only use this thing during the live streams because I write better when I can just write.
I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. I'm not sure.
I do it for you guys, okay? I do it for you guys. It keeps us on track.
It does. Look at us right now.
I know. I know. We're gonna bitch about my extended family and how much I just can't stand 4 of them, 5 of them. No, I told you the list is gonna get bigger. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. what's going on, lady? That is time. Sarah is loving my cup. I actually love it too, and I think that it's a nice amount of coffee because it doesn't get cold before I'm done drinking it. And then I don't know if she was here to see my shirt. Sarah, did you see my shirt? Here. There it is. There's my shirt. And I love it. And I didn't see, Sarah's got the avocado one, but I couldn't tell. This pencil is actually gray. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually got like the pencil color on it. And it is writing in gray. It's really cool. Like Travis did a lot of really good detailed work on the design of this shirt. I know. I was like showing off my pencil. Thank you very much, Sarah. But yeah, you too can also get a very sexy AuthorTube Tribe shirt at the link below. Very affordable. Or if you just want a cup, you can go get yourself a sexy mug. I'm going to advertise for Sarah.
And an additional sticker for all of you lefties out there.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I was like, how can I get that? But I can always just hold it like this. Who needs a handle when you've got a cup this awesome?
I got 299 words.
Very nice.
What about another 5 pages per thread?
Right on. Carol, you are so muted.
I wasn't saying anything anyway, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm doing things.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's right. You were like working on real work.
Yeah. I'm like.
I almost was going to work on real work while we did the streams, and now I'm conflicted because I need to work on my book, but everybody else is doing real work today, except for you, Dana.
Yeah.
So I guess it's 50-50.
Right? Sarah is taking phone calls from rambly people. Gosh, I just can't handle people who can't stay on topic and ramble about everything.
Sounds like my mom.
Oh, man.
That doesn't sound like anybody we know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. That's
one thing to ramble in person or whatever, but when you're calling somebody just to ramble.
Yeah.
My mom always rambles about people I don't even know, and then she tries to make it sound like I do know them. So that's so-and-so's mom. I don't know who that is. But
right?
Yeah, you went to school with them. No, I didn't. Yeah, they graduated a couple years before you. I don't know them.
You're like, unless I know them, I don't know them.
Yeah, I was like, I really don't care. Or she'll tell me about people she works with. I was like, I don't know these people either. I really care less.
Yeah.
I had my back all tense. Ugh.
My solution to when anyone in my family is like, oh yeah, you know this person, it's so-and-so's person, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, finish your story.
Yeah, I'm just like, just get to the point.
Yeah, I never say, no, I don't know them, because then it just, for whatever reason, if you say, I don't know them, or I can't recall who they are, you get like the family tree of how they are associated to you. And it's just like, thanks for like the 15-minute roundabout so that we could figure out who is who. I still don't know who this person is. So can you please move on?
Yeah. I know I'll usually kind of just plug in like how I know them. Like I'll be talking about somebody, my wife's like, who's that? I was like, oh, I work with them. And then just keep going. But I'm not going to like try to explain to her that she might somewhat know them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta know, I work with them, whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is, I can listen to the story and I can remember everything except the name. Until I have a name and a face to put to a person, I can't remember it. So my best friend moved like 5 years ago, And so she started telling me about all of her new friends, and she was playing volleyball at the VA center and all this stuff. And so she kept telling me all of these stories, and they had the same like 6 names, and I could not remember it. And I can remember like the layout of the story easier than I can the names. So she's telling me about this trip that they took to Vegas. And so there was 2 couples and a guy on his own. So there's 5 people. But those 3 people couldn't remember who they were to save my life. So she gets so irritated with me because she's like, I told you, you know, Susie did this. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then blah, 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 blah. And I can recite to her exactly what happened. But heaven help me, if you told me it was Susie or Lisa, I never would have known the difference. Like, I am so bad with remembering the name, and it irritates her so much because I can recite the story back to her. But I can't remember if it's Susie or Lisa, not to save my life.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, it's fun because then you can just say, you know, this time it's Susie, next time it's Lisa. But I do that. So I think I've told everybody before that I am shit with names. Like, I will remember your guys' names because we interact with each other like on a daily basis. But for example, I know that Derek has told us his daughter's name, and he has pronounced it for us.
Right?
He's
muted. So. Can't confirm.
Yeah. So the problem is that I will remember what she looks like before I remember her name or how to say it. And I feel like such an asshole about it because I'm like,
no, I do that too. Like, even when I used to work as a teacher, like, I would always stare at my students and I wouldn't remember their names. I'd be like, you're the kid that eats Takis under his desk. Like, that's how we remember them until, like, you know, 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So
did you ever do that thing where you learn students' names wrong and then it stuck for like half the school year?
Oh, yeah. There was one kid, I was absolutely convinced that her name was Michaela. It was not Michaela.
I had that happen to me quite a bit. There was this other girl in my class who admittedly looked just like me. Like, we legit looked more like sisters than I do with my actual sister. And our teachers used to mess us up. If we ever had a class together, our teachers almost never got our names wrong.
There was, like, not the last school I worked at, but the one before that. I don't know what was in the water that year when these kids were born, but we had 5 sets of twins at the school. And
wow.
I had 2 of them. And one kid, like, he hadn't turned in his homework assignment. And, you know, I saw him in the hallway. I was like, hey, do you happen to have your homework assignment in your backpack? And the kid, like, stared at me. And at first I was like, do you not understand the words coming out of my mouth? And so we stared at each other. I was like, I think you mean you're talking to her. And I was like, are you not her? And he was like, no, I'm his brother.
Oh, wow.
But what made it worse is that their parents gave them very identical sounding names. Like,
no.
Yeah, they did that. And I was like, why?
Oh, wow.
That's how people dress their twins the same.
Mm-hmm.
I know my mom tried that with my daughters.
For the world.
I was like, no. But we never put the same outfit on them at the same time. My mom gets mad. I was like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
No, lucky daughters, because I'm 4 years older than my sister, and my mom still wanted to dress us in the same outfits.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My sister and I, we both had daughters 3 months apart from each other. And my mom loved to dress them in matching outfits. But what she did was she would do one pink, one purple. And then as they got older, she would do the same outfit. Like she would get the same dress, but one would be in like teal because that's what the one girl liked. And the other one would be in like fuchsia because that's what they liked. But they were the same exact dress. Because she loves, like, I don't know why she loves dressing them up alike, but giving them that little tiny bit of difference. But when you have 2 children that are identical and you put them in the same outfit and then you get upset because people don't know which one is which, it's like, hey, if you don't give some type of identifying mark, you did this to yourself, okay? I have a friend whose daughter has twins and they look so much alike, Like, it's very subtle, the differences between the two of them. And I am just like, it's the girls, because I am so terrified to be like, oh, you're so-and-so. And then they're going to be like, no, that's so-and-so. This is so-and-so. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Nope. It's the girls.
I used to be really sensitive about it, but that year, one year where we had like the 5 sets of twins, like I just stopped caring, and so like I would call one the wrong name. I was like, man, you look just like them, and they would just give me this look. I'm like, look, experience this for the rest of your life, friend.
Yeah.
It's like, you part our hair differently. I was like, you could shave your hair off, and I'd still be confused.
I know. Wear a name tag. If it bothers you that much, put a name tag on, okay?
My daughters played softball this past year, and my youngest daughter, my middle child, her name's Jaquita, and we spell it Jaquetta. And they had them putting name tags on so the coach could know, names to kids or whatever for the first couple of practices. And the very first practice, my daughter's out there, and one of the coaches, went to talk to her and kind of tapped her. I was like, "What's your name?" She turned around, and she had her glove up, kind of covering the last part of her name. So all you see was the Jaquette, but the last T and the A was off. And he's like, "Is it Jaquette?" And she's just, yeah. So for like 2 or 3 practices, he kept calling her Jaquette. And coach is like, "Who's Jaquette?" And he pointed at her. He's like, "I don't think that's how you pronounce her name." I was like, well, she knew who he was talking about. So.
Oh, funny. Well,
she kept responding every time he'd be like, "Hey, Jaquette." She'd be like, "What?"
Yep. And like with Genevieve, if people mispronounce her name, a lot of times her teachers want to call her Jenny, and she is like, "No, my name is Genevieve. It is not Jenny." She cannot handle people messing her name up, which is good, because I'm like, no, if they say your name wrong, politely correct them. But it's easy. It's an easy name.
Yeah. I know a lot of people pronounce Jaquita as Jaquita or Jaquetta. It's got the QU in it.
Oh man, I would be one of those people. I would
mispronounce it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
I call her Kita for short. So
I had one kid who came in, and I always talk about her. I always call her the Twi'lek kid because she literally had a Twi'lek name. It was supposed to be pronounced Brigitte, like the Bridget or the French version of Bridget, but they literally spelt it like, I'm gonna type it. They spelled it like that. I'm like, phonics, man. It's an interesting place. But yeah, I was always like, yeah, no, that's a Twi'lek name, so I called her the Twi'lek kid.
There's all kinds of random names nowadays. I know
like
my oldest daughter is in kindergarten. I was looking at some of the kids she graduated with, and one of them was Blaze, Blaaaiiezee. So they put 2 of everybody. I was like, what?
You shouldn't name your kid if the drugs haven't worn off yet.
Oh man, my poor kid.
There's a bunch of random ones. There was a Derek that was like DAYR or something, or DARY. I don't know. It was weird. I was like, I ain't never seen my name spelled like that before.
I think it's really nice that parents want to give their kids unique names, but like at the same time, like, how far are you gonna go? Like,
yeah, I know. I mean, that's when we gave ours unique names, because I grew up with 8 different Dereks in like the same classroom in school, and I hated it. That's why everybody started calling me Stewie.
There was a girl. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, they started calling us by our last names, so they just kind of shortened mine to Stewie. And my wife had the same problem. It wasn't as bad, but there was a bunch of Ambers in our school. So we were like, yeah, we'll give them like unique, random names as their first names. But we'll give them a normal first name as their middle, in case when they got older, they didn't like going by Jaira or Jaquita or whatever. They could go by their middle names, which would be more normal, I guess.
Yeah.
We get rid of that. That way people don't find that name later. Last thing I need is that mom to come find me. You talked about my daughter. You too.
There was a girl on the Oprah Winfrey show, and she's got like 100 freaking first names. Her birth certificate ended up being like 2 feet long or something. Maybe it was 6 foot long. It's something ridiculous. And she's like, the mother, it was like, well, I wanted to be in the world record, the Guinness Book of World Records. And I was like, then do it for something that, like a talent. Don't destroy your daughter. She, on every legal document, yeah, on every legal document, she's going to have to write like 6 foot a first name. And then she's got a ridiculously long middle name. I think her middle name's like 3 feet long. And I'm like, okay, at some point, you have to stop and say, this is ridiculous. I'm going to give them.
Too. Like, I'm naming my daughter this because I want to go down and.
Yeah. Grape Fry saw it. And then she had, like, her mom, in order to teach her her name, her mom had to record her voice so that she could just constantly hear this name. And I'm like, that's not a name. And I think that at some point in time, I don't know, the name police needed to step in and save this poor child from the torture of having to learn how to spell a 6 foot long name. And it's not, I mean, and by all definitions, it is not one name. It's not one name. It's not all linked together. It is like 100 different names. So yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I used to listen to Sirius XM radio a lot in my car. I used to just kind of do random driving travels or whatever. And I listened to a lot of comedy, and there's a comedian named Justin McKinney, but it's spelled with an O. And he said he hated his dad so much for spelling it with an O because he spent so much time of his life correcting it on like legal paperwork. Because he'd be like, no, it's Justin with an O. No, like Jostin. He's like, no, Juston. And he's like, because his dad was like, yeah, because you were born just on time. And he's like, it's just in time. It's the same damn joke. You got it wrong. But he's like, I would spell it correct on legal paperwork. And they go, oh, he doesn't know how to spell his name. And they change it to an I. I spent so much time of my life correcting somebody else's mistake just because my dad doesn't know how to spell my name.
That is
like, I hate that.
When I was in the military, when we had in the military, we had a troop and her name was Jennifer, but somebody had put a 5. So every time she had to legally put in her name, like there would be a 5 in it. And I remember asking because I thought it was a typo too. And she was like, no, there's a 5 in my name, but it's silent. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was like, that's like having somebody whose name is Tim, but spelled with an O. No, that's not Tim, that's Tom.
So did they replace an F with the number 5?
No, it was just in there. Like it was a typo and nobody noticed it until it was too late.
Oh my gosh.
I know I had a friend I went to school with. His name was Cody, and he's always spelled it with a K, and that's how his parents spelled it. But on his birth certificate, it was spelled with a C because somebody messed up somewhere.
Oh my gosh! See, I'm the mom who would have raised hell until they fixed that. Oh yeah, like with my son, his name is Elijah, and they wanted to spell it like Elisha. And I was like, no. It's not SH, okay? It's not the prodigy. It's the original. It's JAH, okay? And everybody, for the longest time when he was first born, they were like, Elisha. And I'm like, no, jackass. It's not Sha. And it really did. It pissed me off. It really pissed me off. And so I am that mom. And Genevieve, her name is Genevieve. It is not Jenny. And whenever I hear people be like, oh, hey, Jenny, I'm like, no. And that's where she gets it from, because her whole life, I was like, that's not her name. Cut it out.
I know when we named Jaquita, whatever, my mom kept trying to tell me how to spell it. I was like, no, it's not how we're spelling it. So that's how people spell it. I was like, people don't name their name or kids Jaquita.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that's named that.
You're like,
I looked it up, and that's the spelling I want.
Yeah. You're like, she's
the whole, like, I made this baby. I'll call it what I want.
Yeah,
that's right. I do. I call my babies all kinds of stuff, whether it's their name or not. No.
Yeah. I poured it down to Kita. Whenever I talked to her, mom was like, if you're going to name her Jaquita, you need to call her Jaquita. I was like, no. I was like, too tongue-tied because all my kids start with a J, so.
Oh, that's cute. Wendy named her oldest Johnny. And everybody was like, oh, it's a nice normal name. And then he goes around by Blade. That's cool. That's cool though, because Blade was cool. He like, you know.
Because it works. She could be called Dog Biscuit.
That is true. That is true. Honestly, I don't think anybody's going to top that one. No. No, no, no. Not at all. And it gave us a good laugh first thing in the morning.
I like to make you guys laugh. I own it, so don't worry about me being upset.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm glad you're not upset. No way did I do that intentionally. You did it to me. You did it to me. Oh,
I don't have any issue with it.
Right on. Well, are we ready to do our third one?
Whenever you are ready.
All right, let's go. Let's get this started. And 3, 2, 1, go. right, that's time. I am glad to hear that you are feeling better, Morgan. I know being sick sucks.
Yeah, as somebody who's been sick more times this year than I have been in the last 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of my friends had an intervention with me because I was talking about how I kept being sick, and she's like, well, if you stop going at like 500 miles an hour, maybe you'd stop being sick. And I was like, I don't need your reality, Brooke, okay?
I had a similar conversation with somebody recently. I was frazzled for like 3 days, and then it got to the point where I can't even remember what it was that pushed me over the edge, but I just had a fuck this shit moment. And this particular friend was like, I told you to calm down yesterday. And I was like, I'm not upset. And they were like, shut up and listen to me. No, you're not upset, but you're going 90 miles an hour, and you have been for the last 3 days. So sit down and shut up, and then when you calm down, we can continue talking. So my fuck this shit turned into a fuck you moment. So I took a few minutes, and then I had to calm down and come back and be like, all right, fine. They made me sit down and do nothing but play Words with Friends with him for like 2 hours on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
My husband's been has been enforcing mandatory Zelda time where I have to sit and play Zelda for like anywhere between 1 and 2 hours, so I'm not working.
Oh,
Right.
that's cute.
Yeah. Persephone got 239. That is awesome.
Woo!
My body has a way of like telling me, hey, you need to slow down. And if I choose to ignore the warning signs, it is like, okay, fuck you, we're slowing down. And that's what yesterday was. So Saturday I started to not feel very well, and I got a migraine, and I figured it was because Saturday morning I was at a memorial with my mom, and we were in the sun for almost 2 hours straight.
Oh,
And
out here?
yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And so, yeah, when we got there and we found out it was a completely outdoor event, I was like, are you insane? So, I thought we were, I was starting to get a migraine and everything. And then yesterday it was game over. I was like, okay, I'm going to lay on the couch and do absolutely nothing. And my husband went and got me the Glass movie, and I was extremely disappointed. I was like, man, I'm supposed to be relaxing, and all I want to do is throw a shoe at the television because this movie sucks. Have a good day, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah, so listen to your body. Take some time off.
Yeah.
When you're going 90 miles an hour for multiple days, slow down and smell the coffee.
I got work to do, man.
I know, right?
In the coffee and get some work done.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had plenty of coffee already.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for your sage advice, Dana. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. We appreciate it. Can you pass the coffee cup, please?
I know. Here you go. Here it is. Can you grab it?
Author Jam.
That's right. Yeah. So, I'm all speaking of coffee. I was told that I should go to half calf, and I don't think that's possible. I really don't.
Say that to you. Who is this person?
A cardiologist.
Heretic. Oh, okay.
Who is this non-believer?
Well, I started having like these really weird spikes in my blood pressure, and I would get really dizzy, and I'd end up like having to lay down for a couple of hours to get it to come down. And they're like, maybe you should go to half calf, and maybe instead of drinking like 24 cups of coffee, you should try doing like, I don't know, 6. I was like, who the hell are you, Satan?
Not today. So fantastic.
Non-believers.
That's right. That's right. I was like, what if I go to like instead of coffee, what if I go to tea? And they were like, seriously? He's all, some teas actually have more caffeine than coffee does. And I was like,
I learned that lesson the hard way because I have a caffeine sensitivity, and it took me years to understand it because it's not a severe caffeine sensitivity.
Yeah.
It's just, when I have too much, everything up to that too much, I'm fine and I don't know the difference. But once I cross that line, my body is like for days. And it took me a couple of years to figure it out. And I tried switching to tea and it didn't help. And then I figured out that's because I was drinking like black tea or whichever one it is that has the most caffeine because I like that one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I had to give up soda and everything. It helped my body immensely, but now I have like no tolerance for caffeine. So if I drink caffeine past like 10 in the morning, it will keep me up until about midnight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's bad. I have like no tolerance for it whatsoever. So I've been trying for the last couple of months to try drinking a little bit of soda, a little bit of something in the morning.
Yeah.
I need it in the wintertime because I know you guys have all heard me vent about the time that the sun comes up and trying to stay awake until the sun comes up and all that mess. So it's not so bad now, but I learned that lesson the hard way. Coffee and some of them teas are a little tricky.
My mom had got me this blooming teapot for my birthday, and it came with a couple of like green tea blooms. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, I'm going to make this and I'm going to drink it. And I drank like an entire pot of this green tea bloom. And all of a sudden I started getting like jittery, and then I started getting nauseous, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And my husband's like, well, what did you drink today? And I was like, I had a pot of coffee, and then I topped it off with a pot of green tea. And when I
wonder where you went wrong.
Yeah. And so I went in and I was talking to my doctor. I was like, hey, something's wrong, and over the last 2 years, I've had so many different medications. I was like, I think something is not okay. And she was like, okay, well, what happened when you were experiencing this? And so I told her, I said, well, I had a pot of coffee, and then I decided to top it off with a pot of green tea. And she's like, let's talk about this green tea. Okay. She's like, everybody loves green tea because it gives you an energy boost. She's like, but if you have a shit ton of caffeine and then you add a shit ton of green tea, you are in trouble. So I've learned it's one or the other. If I wake up in the morning and I grab coffee first, the green tea is completely off the table. If I get up and I do green tea first, coffee is completely off the table.
Yeah. One of the things, like, there's a medication I take, and one of the things is that it stops me from drinking coffee. So sometimes I'll wake up extra early so I can take the med and then go back to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Like, I just need a sip. I just need one sip because it tastes so good. So.
Yeah. I love coffee. I love it. Like chocolate-covered coffee beans.
Oh, yeah.
I worked for a chocolatier, and at one point, like, she couldn't pay me because, like, things weren't going well. And I was like, I'll just take a box of those chocolate-covered espresso beans, and I'll call it good.
Yeah.
I know, right? Mm-hmm.
The first time I want to say I was 17, the first time that I tried a chocolate-covered espresso bean. And my uncle was like, because we were up all night playing some game, and I was starting to get tired. And my uncle was like, here, try this. So I ate this chocolate-covered espresso bean immediately. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is so good. And I was awake. It was like instantaneously. I was awake, and I finished the game, but I crashed hard. I mean, it was like I jumped out of a plane with no parachute. And by the time it was over, I crashed. I was just, goodbye. So, yeah, I'm very cautious with those espresso beans now. Very cautious. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I think that we're going to have to wrap it up. I got some stuff I need to do. I'm sure you guys have some work stuff you guys need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff. And I know. I keep looking over here because I just got a letter. The mail was delivered to my desk, and I just got a letter, and I keep looking at it because I'm like, well, what the hell does it mean? I hate that when they send you a letter and they're like, hey, guess what? You might be able to use this, and it's vague as to what this is, and if you call this number, and it's just like, just tell me what it is. So that I can
They want you to call. That's the whole point. That's why they don't tell you what it is.
I know.
Yeah.
I just burned that stuff.
Well, it's legitimate. It's about my son's autism, and it's legitimate. So I do need to call, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, we all know he's autistic. We all know he qualifies for certain things. Tell me what the fuck it is he qualifies, so I know if I need to call now or if I can put it off till next week.
Oh, why don't you send me a screenshot of that in Facebook, and then I can probably explain it to you, because usually working with people with autism and all that.
It's like his SSI type stuff. That's why I'm like, what the hell is this? But yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you a screenshot.
Okay.
Then you can tell me if you've seen it.
I can decode it for you.
I know. I'm like, what the hell? They're all, call this number, and then it's got the weirdest numbers or times. It's like from 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm like, man, you guys are really like killing people out in the Pacific Standard Time place. So, all right. Anyway, so why don't we go ahead and wrap it up? We'll start with Amy.
Okay.
And we'll move on.
Okay. I am Amy Nobody. I'm an SEO consultant, and I'm working on my second rough draft, damn it, of my first fiction book, and plugging away at it. Get it eventually. I don't have a website or social media or anything like that. I don't use that. Now I see your face, Carol. I don't use it, much to the dismay of Carol and Alina, the wise social media people who keep telling me I got to get my act together.
One day you'll do it.
One day, yeah, I guess. And that day,
she keeps saying that.
But anyways, yeah, that's me, SEO consultant, first fiction book, all that good stuff.
Carol. Sorry, I was like, so my name is Carol Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author and a writer for Other World Inc. I am here today working on my project that I can't talk about yet, but I will one day at some point. I have a book coming in August, and if you want, you can go and check out my newsletter, because you can get a free sample of my writing there and see if you like it or not. That way you don't have to like invest in questionable things. But yeah, so that's me.
Awesome. I think Derek's like jamming out to some kind of music that
I think he's got feedback on his audio.
Maybe, because I was picking up on some kind of like rhythm, but then I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's the ghosts in his house.
No, my wife's outside mowing, so you're probably hearing the humming from that.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason, Hangouts like signed me out and kicked me out for a minute. And that's
sorry. That's me. I gotta take this one. Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, my wife's mowing. She's mowing like right behind where my computer is, so I can hear that humming. But Hangouts kicked me out for a minute and logged me out and everything. I had to re-sign in, and I know when I joined back in, it was showing that I was like here twice. I was like, wait.
Oh, that is insane.
Yeah, my YouTube won't let me sign in, and Hangouts just kicked me out.
I know. YouTube can't figure it out, and Google is starting to follow. Shit.
Well, YouTube's ran by Google or whatever, so.
Yeah, they're run by Google.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know.
They're probably like, you guys have been on long enough, go away.
Talking about drugs and kids with autism and everything else. No.
They found you.
Down.
Oh man, we're such a colorful bunch.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, I'm D.L. Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. I got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. Website, dlstewartauthor.com. You can sign up to my newsletter. I got a blog on there with just a bunch of random stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess.
Very nice. And I am Dana Gollin. You can find all of my goodies at danagollinwrites.com. You can sign up for my newsletter and get a free copy of The Awakening. And you'll see all the other cool stuff that is in there, including recommended reads and recipes for my very interesting life. So anyway, until next time, I hope you guys have a good day and happy writing. Bye.
Bye.